It's week 2 of our high school football season as West Clermont tries to get its first win of the year, also against Lakota West, who's also trying to get their first win of the year. It's the Wolves and the Firebirds, next on Chatterbox Live.
Launching towards the end zone, he's got Simpkins, bought in for the touchdown! Deshaun Simpkins with the snag.
Looking left to Sims Marshall. Home run down for Jalen Marshall. He's got a touchdown.
On tap is week 2 here in our high school football season, along with the rookie Kevin Zilch. I'm Geoff Kim. We'll bring him in just a moment. It was the Wolves losing to Hamilton a week ago, 43-28, despite a big first quarter effort. And on the other side, for the Firebirds, they lost to the number 1 team in the state, St. X, by a score of 31-14. Kev, as we pull you on into this broadcast, let's look first at the Firebirds and their stud, the 4-star Jair Brown.
Yeah, you know, Jair Brown, 4-star recruit, going to Ohio State. He's a dual threat. You're going to see on both sides of the football. Actually, you're going to see him on all 3 phases of the game in special teams as well. Really exciting athlete. Really anxious to see him here tonight, Jeff.
You and I got a chance to see the Wolves a week ago. They put up 28 points in that first quarter. Marcus Johnson, who's not expected to play here tonight, was such a big factor, but Matt Botts really did a great job in leading the way.
I'll tell you what, Matt Botts, 6'3" center. I mean, he is the focal point of this offense. He's going to have to be that tonight without Johnson in the backfield. You know, they're going to have to put some things together tonight to go against this Firebirds defense.
When we return, it'll be our starting lineups and the opening kick here on Chatterbox Plus. And time now for our Cintas starting lineups. We're over 1 million business rely on Cintas, so get Cintas and get ready for the workday. We'll give you the starting lineups here after the kickoff. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Glad to have you along as we have a little bit of a protracted start to this one. And away we go here in Beckett Ridge. A little squibber to an up man at the 29, taking it up, dancing across the 30 and out to the 33-yard line. And that's where Lakota West will start 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. So as we go to the starting lineups, the starting quarterback is Mitch Bolden, 6'2", 190 pounds, a junior. Cam Goode's in the backfield with them, along with the wide receivers, Jair Brown, Trent Lloyd, and Brennan Remy. Anderson Simpson's the tight end. The offensive line features Tegra Shabola, Eric Cifuentes, Tony Curtis, Caden Fletcher, and Lathan McComas. And we'll give you the defense here after this first play from scrimmage. Glad to have you here from Beckett Ridge tonight. Week 2 action here on Chatterbox Live. So out of the pistol rather, is the quarterback in Bolden. Bolden gets play action, looks, deep middle, caught, and that's a first down. Out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. And that one, as we're looking on this one, was that to Dwayne Richardson? Did we see 10 on that one, partner?
You're right, yes, that was.
So he wasn't in our starting lineup, but he got the starting nod, gets the first catch, his first catch of the year. And on first down, the give goes to Good. Dancing up the middle, has some space into the secondary, across midfield, out to the 45-yard line. Let's give you the defense now for visiting West Clermont. Up front, Logan Toft, David Utley, Stephen Potts, and Lance West. Landon Early and Myson Sanders are the linebackers, and we'll give you the DBs here in just a moment. Second, and we'll call it 2. As we come up on the minute mark, and the give here is good again in traffic, breaks free momentarily, and has the first down. Needed 2 and got plenty more. The defensive backs here tonight, DJ Benson, even Seabohm, who's injured, so we'll see who's in for him. Bryson Early, Cameron Sleet, and Caleb Stepp. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. And it's a give to the back again, and a second straight carry for Cameron Goode.
One thing I'm noticing early on here, Jeff, is just the penetration that the offensive line is making on West Clermont for the Firebirds right now. They are getting into the backfield, up into the secondary there. So it could be a long night for West Clermont.
Second, we'll call it 3. Another give. No, the keeper by Bolton. He's got a first down. Off the gut. That's 6. 28 yards out. Money Mitch scores for the first time tonight. 6-0 Lakota West.
like a hot knife through butter. I'll tell you what, Mitch Bolden runs all over the West Clermont defense. Nobody touched him practically. Great fake. Great job by the running back to carry that fake through the offensive line, which is what you want to teach. It got those linebackers to kind of freeze, and Bolden was able to make a great move into the end zone.
So with 10:27 left to go here in this opening quarter, the Firebirds, the home team, strike first here in Beckett Ridge, 6-0, as we await the emergence of the kicker, Tyler Spamal, out of the hold of Mitch Bolden. Lahan McComas holds, so actually deals, and this one is up and through. 7-0, just like that here in Beckett Ridge. While we have a moment, let's go ahead and give you the rest of those starting lineups powered by Cintas. And again, over 1 million businesses rely on Cintas, so get Cintas and get ready for the workday. And on offense, when we see West Clermont, it'll be Nolan Lucas, number 12. He's 6'3", 225 pounds, a senior. He's a captain on the team. Adriel Arona will be at a wingback spot, so will Wiley Wooldridge. We understand that Marcus Johnson will not suit up tonight, and it'll be Zach Moats to start things off in the backfield as the fullback. Jace Hesketh is the wide receiver. Brandon Holder is the tight end. The offensive line features Andrew Sandifer at the left tackle, Nick Henning, Matt Botts, who you heard about in our open, Ethan Brown at the right guard, and Matt Anderkin at the right tackle. On the other side for Lakota West defensively, it's a 3-3-5 lineup, a spread defense. Up front, it's Brian Henderson, the lone holdover starter on the line, with Kofi Bobby and Elijah Davis. Isaiah Jones, Aiden Miller, and Tyler Spamal are the linebackers. Jair Brown, Josh Fussell, Alex Safari, Ben Minnick, and Malik Hartford are the defensive backs. And I think we've got all of our business set, and this one goes into the end zone, 2 yards deep, touchback.
You know, Jair Brown, we talked about him in the pregame, Jeff. Really anxious to see this kid play here tonight. Ohio State commit, invited to the Under Armour camp up in Columbus, which is one of the most prestigious high school camps you can actually be invited to in the nation. So really anxious to see what this kid can do here tonight. And you're going to see him, like we talked about, on both sides of the football. In fact, in all three phases of the game, you're going to see his name called tonight.
So here comes West Clermont on offense. You and I, partners, saw them a week ago at their own home stadium to open up their place for 2021. Losers 43-28 to Hamilton. We'll talk about that more in a second. And the gift goes to the deep back. It was a sleight of hand. They had motioned a man from the right side. They didn't give it to him coming left on the sweep, and instead they get up the middle for maybe a yard.
We talked about it last week. That's the misdirection you're going to see with the wing T offense in the backfield. So that's used to try and disrupt and make those linebackers hesitate a little bit to try and get downfield for West Clermont.
2nd and 8. So the ball spotted right between the hash marks at the 22-yard line. And we're just simply glad to have this one in. A game time, I guess, what was it, about 8:15 tonight?
Yeah.
Actually, a little bit earlier than that as we go and see a few more yards on the next run play. I think we started just about a little after 8:10 tonight. I didn't have an exact eye on the clock. Game time temperature would have been, and I say would have been, 90 degrees, but we had a sweeping rain that came in here, and we hope to show you some video later on just how much wind popped here through Beckett Ridge. So the first third down of the night, third, and we'll call it 6 out at the 24-yard line. It's Lucas out of the gun. And he'll change the play at the line. Nick Ayers is the head coach, by the way, in his 5th year with the program. 19-21. His 9th year overall at 40-42. Again, Lucas will operate out of the gun. They go trips to the top of your screen, and now we got a stoppage here. While we have a moment, on the other side, it's Lakota West at 0-1 tonight. Their head coach is Tom Bolden in his 3rd year with the program. 15-6. In his 15th year, 147-27. That is a snootful of a record. A few years ago, in fact, his last year at Coleraine, state runners-up when he was still over there on that part of town.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic football coach. I mean, just what he did with Coleraine taking over Kerry Combs, and now what he's doing here at Lakota West. I mean, just very impressed with what Coach Bolden's been able to do at both stops.
So motion against West Clermont, and now they attack the quarterback, and he can't get away. Dropped at the 15-yard line. I think there was Elijah Davis that got him.
I mean, just a lot of penetration there on that play by the Firebirds defense. Not what you want to see if you're West Clermont right now. Had the penalty push them back. Right now, the name of the game, I think, for West Clermont, you got to sustain a drive and keep that Lakota West offense off the field. That's going to be a tough go for them tonight, though.
So they'll punt this one away. Landon early back just short of his own goal line out of the 2-yard line. And we're looking to see who it is to return, see if that's Jair Brown on a short return. He gets away, the return man does at the 40 and breaks out. And now loses a couple of yards. He got the ball about the 40, and now we got flags on the play, a couple of them. And it is number 1 out there, Jair Brown. So hooray for Hollywood, his first touch of the night.
Wait to see what the penalty is here.
So waiting for that, by the way, as we are waiting, we do see it's a hold against the return team. So push it back. So it was a 25-yard punt on the net anyways, and we'll see where they officially spot it. Let's see if they'll mark it back all the way to midfield.
That looks like where they're going with it.
Just 4 minutes deep into this one, 7-0 in favor of Lakota West. And they'll spot the ball right at midfield, or actually just outside of it at the 49-yard line. So you're about as close to midfield as you possibly can get without being there. And we'll see how this second drive goes. Mitch Bolden a week ago was 8 for 21 passing. A lot of passes. Twins to the top of your screen. And they have doubles in the backfield with Bolden. And the give, it goes to Good as he sweeps to the near side, to the bottom of your screen, breaks a tackle, drops a flag in the backfield. He gained 5 or 6 on the play, but let's see what the flag is. It's in the area of holding.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's going to be there, Jeff. Another kid we haven't really talked about yet so far, Tegra Shabola, the left tackle for the Lakota West Firebirds, 6'6", 330 pounds. I'll say that again, 6'6", 330 pounds. You see him out here, I mean, wow, towers over just about everybody on the field.
So the hold brings him back 10 yards, and I'm going to put you on the spot, partner. I think one of the things that you and I talked about as we have twins to the top of your screen, and again, that H-back and tailback formation in the backfield with Bolden. Play action, Bolden looking deep down the middle. Home run! And it is short. He left it way short of Dwayne Richardson. He was all by himself, came into the clear on the 8 route, but it's incomplete to bring up second down.
Great look there. Great. I mean, honestly, he puts a little bit more on that. It's a home run ball, and that's a touchdown. He actually had 2 receivers wide open there across the middle. So West Clermont's got to figure something out. They got receivers, getting open. They have penetration coming from the offensive line. They got to hunker down and really try and get a stop here for Lakota West.
So we go triples to the top of your screen on 2nd and 20, and I'll still put you on the spot here after this next play. A single down to the bottom of your screen. Looks like Spamal. Actually, it's 2, Afari. And now Good cuts back into the middle and gains a handful of yards. So right now, that West Clermont defense stiffening up. I will put you on the spot officially. You and I had talked about pancakes during the middle of the week. And so do you want to bring it up, what we were talking about?
This is my key to the game, or at least my stat of the game. I don't know. We haven't come up with a name yet for it. We'll get there. I'm tracking Shabola's pancakes now. It's Pancake City. I've already gotten with 2 so far, just early on in this first quarter so far, partner.
As Zilch zeroes in on the information here in this ballgame.
There it is.
Third, and we'll call it 15 here as we come up on 7 minutes left to play here in this opening quarter. 7-0. Twins to the bottom of your screen. They motion a man to the right and make it triples. And now the roll right for Bolden. Looking downfield, now will keep it and has room. He's got a first down and more out inside the 35-yard line, out at the 33. So if that's the case, 17 plus 6, 23 yards on the pickup.
And right there, you just saw the dual threat that Mitch Bolden brings to this offense. He did it last year. He's doing it again this year. Through the air and on his feet. I mean, the kid just has great awareness around him. That's what you want to see in a young quarterback like this.
Officially at the 32, 1st and 10 on the near hash mark. He did run for 81 yards on 21 carries a week ago in their season opener. Dummy call, and they look to the sideline, and now they got Twins in the backfield. It's funny. Now you've got the quarterback splitting the 2. And now the give to the tailback as they roll right. And that's something that I hadn't seen in the scrimmages as they gave it to 30. 30 is Luedes Gonzalez Jr. at 5'10", 200 pounds, and a sophomore. So that's his first carry, by the way, of the year.
Yeah, not bad. Got the first down there.
Here's Good, up the middle, into space. He's gone. 13-0 West. From 24 yards out, Cameron Goode gets the first score of this year, and it's 13-0.
Take a look here on the replay. I mean, great blocking by the left side. And again, that's Cibola there. Just makes a great block, able for the running back to get in there, finds a lane, plants his foot, gets upfield for the touchdown.
So 24 yards on the gallop for Good. His first score of the year. He was held out of the end zone a week ago. And we'll tell you a little bit more about him after the conversion. Speaking of the conversion again, it's Tyler Spamal, and now Good. 6:11 to play. 14-0 is your brand new score here in Beckett Ridge. So in terms of gumbo, as he's affectionately called here in Beckett Ridge, Cameron Goode a week ago had 13 carries for 7 yards. He did have a long of 16. So what does that tell you about the rest of his carries?
Not that much going on there. Not that much going on there. And I think that's one of the things, you look at last week's game for Lakota West, really kind of uncharacteristic, and I think you and I even talked about it. They're probably the best one-loss team, definitely in the city, probably in the state right now, going up against St. X. They had 2 turnovers right in the second half last week. You take those away, Jeff, I think that's a pretty darn close football game. That score is not indicative of how close that game was.
That last drive took 6 plays, 51 yards. It took about a minute and 48 seconds off the clock, capped off by the Good touchdown, his first of the year. The conversion by Spamal is good. 14-0 is your brand new score here in Beckett Ridge, as both teams are looking to even their records at 1-1.
Really what you saw last week with West Clermont, got out to that huge lead against Hamilton, 28-8 in the first quarter, and then just really fell flat after that. Really anxious to see what Coach Ayers can do here, try to get something going offensively for him.
Return man from the 2. Angles to the left and has nowhere to go out at the 15-yard line. So great special teams out there. Josh Fussell, a starting defensive back for these West Firebirds on the tackle.
That's one of the scariest things, just coming and being a former special teams coordinator. When you get guys to the edge like that on a kickoff, you got to contain. You got to keep contained. And that was a great job by Lakota West doing that there. In fact, they'll probably look at the film tomorrow and go, you maybe could have done even a little bit better job on that. But that's one of the scariest things, especially when you got a fast returner like West Clermont does.
The deep back, by the way, is Zach Motes, who we talked about a week ago at lists 5'6" and 170. I think he's a little bit bigger, and now we've got motion again on the line, and it might be the second motion call here this evening against West Clermont. The officials for tonight's ball game: Tim Baumgartner, Gary Irby, Chad Cunningham, Nigel Medeiros, what a name there, and Chris Samuelson. It's funny. It's one thing to mispronounce a name. It's a whole nother thing when it's probably likely because of your own bad handwriting.
Trust me, I go through that about once a day. I'm sitting there going, wait, what does that say?
So 1st and 15 as they spot the ball at the 10-yard line, as you see the defensive shift and the give off the left side. I think it's Motes there, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Well, 23, as we take a look at 23, it's Riley Woldridge. So he's one of the starting wing backs for West Clermont.
One thing in the wing tee offense that you can't do, Jeff, is you cannot move backwards. And that's what, you get the false start penalty there on the first down, and this just sets your timeline back now. And it's really hard to get that yardage back because that's not what the wing tee is designed to do, is to pick up those long yardage plays.
2nd and 15 on no gain. Out of the gun is the quarterback. He muffs it. Or actually, it's actually still on the ground as it recovered by West. Well, it's recovered by somebody's West.
Somebody's.
It'll stay up front on a 5-yard loss. So the way the ball came out of the hands of the quarterback, Nolan Lucas, it looked like it was a design mishandle for the hey, he was trying to sell a fake. Not the case. It was a legit fumble, and they lose 5 on the play.
Yep, again, moving backwards, that's not what you want to be doing there. I mean, if you're West Clermont, this is a tough situation, 3rd and 20 right now.
4:48 to go, and again, you see the line shift as they move right to left, and they put a linebacker at the bottom of your screen. And now the give to Moats, nowhere to go, tackle for a loss. Was that Fussell again?
I think it might have been.
Two. I think it's Alex Afari. So they moved Alex out of the cornerback spot and moved him into a safety/linebacker spot.
Jeff, you and I actually talked about that in our prep earlier this week that, hey, he's one of those guys that can come down and play inside the box really well. We thought, that's what a great safeties do. Really got to kind of see him get in there. First time we called his name tonight. The UK commit.
So this is a tough situation if you're a punter, and we saw a similar situation a year ago in the playoffs in which West Clermont was backed up to their own goal line, and they snapped it out of the end zone. This one's in play from the 2. It's a spiraling kick as Brown will take it on a bounce at the 30, down the sideline, up the field, and into the red zone.
Looks like we got a late flag.
And we got flags off the end of it. So 28 yards initially in the air, and we'll see where they spot it. I had him out inside the red zone, out towards the 15, and that would have been a 15-yard return. And let's see where they got it. And it's against the kicking team.
So that's just going to put them, in great field position right now. On that punt return there, that's one of those where you're yelling at the kid, get away, get away. Great awareness to make a play. Probably might, in tomorrow's film room might be, hey, look, great job. Not exactly what we want to have happen there all the time, though. But great awareness there by the returner.
So half the distance to the goal. It's at the 7-yard line as we enter the Cincinnati Reds red zone. So a goal line situation. So we see Gonzalez in the backfield. I think they're going to line him up as an H. Out to the left of the quarterback. Bolton calls for it. It's good with the ball. Angles to the right. Has the corner to the goal line. He's got his second tonight. One play does it all. 8 seconds off the clock. Cameron Goode scores again. 20-0.
You're going to see fantastic blocking by the receiver, number 10, Dwayne Richardson, right there on the edge. Great job sustaining his block, keeping his body in front of the defensive back to allow the running back to get right in behind him on the touchdown. 21-0 right now. West Clermont's got a lot of work to do here. They got to figure out something defensively.
It's funny. We did put 21 up on the board. We're assuming the appropriate conversion here at this point by Spamal. We see 6 to hold. That's Aaron Peters. And the kick is away. Pinwheeling through the goal line to the goal post and good. One play, as we mentioned, does it all. 8 seconds off the clock. 7-yard run off the right side by Cameron Goode. His second touchdown of the year. His second touchdown of the quarter. Conversion's good. The brand new score here in Beckett Ridge, 21-0. Partner, on that note, you talked about, the score being lopsided. In looking at last year's game, it was a 44-0 win by the home team as a 1 seed in the playoffs, in the Division I Region 4 playoffs, over the 16 seed in West Clermont, who had come into that game 1-3. At that point, Lakota West had been perfect. That defense had been sparkling through the regular season. And it was hard for West Clermont from the very beginning. Even though they got 20 yards on the first play from scrimmage, they only got 35 yards from scrimmage the whole game that night.
Yeah, and that Lakota West squad last year, you had a chance to see them multiple times in the playoffs. It was just an unbelievable squad, and I think they actually have, another great talented defense coming up. That game last year, also you got to look at Mitch Bolton. He was 7 of 8, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game. He was on point. So that was they're kind of carrying that over into this week's game. I think that last week's game against St. X might have upset this Lakota West squad a little bit.
Kick is away, a short kick out to the 4. Return man to the 10, angles to the right. Is it Sleet? Out to the 35-yard line. So a heck of a return out there by Cameron Sleet, the starting safety. A return of 35 to get things started with his team down by 21.
Well, it's plays like that, Jeff, that are going to get you back into this game. Now you got to take advantage of it on offense. You got to you're down 21-0 right now in the first quarter still. You got to play that, we got to be quick but don't hurry because we got to keep that Lakota West offense off the field right now. That's at least the name of the game if I'm Coach Ayers.
3-3-5 spread offense. Now, I don't know if you typically think about a 3-3-5 being effective against a wing T. So far it has tonight as they motion a wing back to the right and really nothing. Did they stop the play?
Almost looked like it, didn't they?
Yeah, it was an awfully quick whistle. But it's a loss on the play. That's how deep the penetration is right now for Lakota West.
Yeah, and anytime you see that type of penetration, that's tough, especially if you're calling plays on the offense. You got to hit the quick hitters. Right now I might be thinking going to my three-step game, just trying to get some positive momentum going if I'm on offense for the Wolves.
Second, and we'll call it 12. Out of the wing tee again as they motion Bryson early, and now we do have a stoppage here. False start against the offense. So you mentioned this, right? It's you can't lose yardage on offensive plays, but when you have losses on actual plays executed, and then you compound them by penalties, that tells you the mindset right now of your team, and they're shell-shocked right now. I would imagine down by 3 scores.
You got to settle them down. Got to bring them in and say, hey, listen, a lot of football left to play. Let's chunk this thing away. Let's try and win the second quarter. Let's get a first down here. No, another flag.
Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus. Had a heck of a time just getting on the air tonight. Just because of the delayed start and just trying to make sure that we're able to present pictures to you. So, 2nd and 12. They move the other way. Lucas back to pass. He's looking down the middle, complete! Out across midfield down to the 42-yard line.
And that's what happens in the wing T, and that's what you want to have happen. They were playing 8-9 in the box there, man-to-man coverage. You get a step on them. That's what you got to do right now if you're West Clermont.
So the big first play out there to Riley Wooldridge, beg your pardon, Wooldridge, who gets the reception. His first catch of the year, I believe. No, actually, he might have gotten the ball a week ago against Hamilton. Again, out of the wing tee. And they motion Wooldridge and now give to the deep back for a couple of yards. So in relief tonight of the starting running back in Marcus Johnson, who we saw for a quarter a week ago, and he was fantastic.
Wow.
Zach Moats, beg your pardon. Yep, Zach Moats, beg your pardon. 28 has been the replacement at running back, and he did score also in that first period a week ago.
Yeah, great first quarter by the West Clermont Wolves last week, but not much to show after that, but see if they can't get something out of this drive.
And the give on the sweep around to the far side, and it's again Wooldridge. So he's getting a lot of touches here to start things off. I thought we'd see a little bit more of Adriel Arona, who had been such a factor a week ago, got a lot of the carries after Johnson had went out of the ballgame with an injury.
I think they're just trying to change it up, get fresh bodies in there. One thing we did see last week is West Clermont seemed to get kind of tired late in the game there, so I think they're just trying to keep fresh legs in the ballgame right now.
It's Jace Hesketh at the bottom of your screen, and another sweep to the near side. They'll have to cut it back, and it's a loss. Alex Afari, the first one in there, and he got some cleanup help by 90, Elijah Davis.
Great play there by Alex Afari to get in there. He's one of those fast guys, and I think, we and I were talking about it, safety, linebacker. You can play him wherever. That kid has a great awareness of what's going on in the field on defense.
I don't want to say the young man is all legs at 6'3" and 200 pounds, but he is a lot of legs out there. As you see him motioning to the top of your screen and setting up to protect the edge out there, out at the top. Wooldridge in motion. They look in space, and now they look for the screen the other way, and they blow it up. It's a loss on the play on 4th down. So they go to Wooldridge, who was not really in a screen, but he was just in space, and they blow it up, and it's a turnover on downs with 5 seconds left to play here in this first period.
Again, just trying to do something different there, trying to catch him off guard. Great job by Lakota West defense to snuff out that screen right there. What you do there, Geoff, is you got to trail yourself back. You penetrate in. The second you see that it's going to be a screen pass, you literally follow your steps right back to your original position. Great job by Lakota West defensive line and linebackers on that play.
So we expect one final play left to go here in this quarter. Single wide to the bottom, single to the top. And it's been all Lakota West so far. Play action, and out of it as Bolden. He dances to the right, looking, and now will keep it. Out to midfield and out of bounds, and that's how this first period ends. A big effort so far tonight through 12 minutes for Lakota West. 21-0 here in Beckett Ridge, here on Chatterbox Plus. We start the second quarter as we head towards the south end zone. And as Mitch Bolden lost the ball, and now he's going to have to eat it. Back beyond his own 50-yard line, back towards the 47. He missed the mesh point with Cameron Goode, and that's why we have the loss on the play.
Mistake there by Mitch Bolden, but I'll tell you what, that previous play, great job by him to have the awareness to get out of the tackle, to get out of the possible sack, get back to at least the original line of scrimmage. Now, they're back in a 3rd and 9 situation right now.
So we see Alex Afari come in on offense, and Drew Minnick, who's at the bottom of your screen, and the young man impressed. In fact, we saw him in a scrimmage against Elder run off a 70-yarder on a big pass play. Triples to the bottom of your screen. Bolden out of the gun, looking left, and throws over the middle. It's complete, and no, incomplete. Looked like it was intended out there for a minute. It would have been short for the first down. Actually, it was 10. 10 is Richardson, and it's a punting situation, believe it or not, for Lakota West. So as easy as they made things going to the north end zone, that's how tough things have been here in the last couple of plays.
Yeah, this is a great job by the West Clermont Wolves there to get the stop. Now they got to capitalize off of this stop. You got them stopped. Now you got to get points on this next drive if you're West Clermont.
So Cam Sleet out at his 15, ready to return this one. And this one angling to the right side and out of bounds, as far as I can tell. It didn't look like a particularly good punt. To be honest, we have a little bit of a glare from where we're at in our press box view. But it's a turnover, or I shouldn't say a turnover, but it's a change of possession with 11:02 left to go in this half, and the score remains the same at 21-0.
It's tough, Geoff, if you're West Clermont to be in these type of games. Unfortunately, as a coach, you go through and you coach a lot of these games where you're down big early. You just got to chunk it away, make easy, attainable goals. Okay, guys, here, look. We need to get 3 first downs on this drive, and that'll put us in a position to just get points out of it. And that's what you got to be focused on if you're calling plays right now for West Clermont.
I have this as a 9-yard punt. So doubles at the bottom of your screen, and off left tackle goes the running back for a yard. So Moats, who's gotten the majority of the duty in carrying the ball so far in relief of Marcus Johnson, who ran off a pair of 64-yarders a week ago, got hurt late in the first quarter, came back in the second, tried to play through whatever it is that he dealt with. He came up gimpy at the end of the first, by the way. And then he didn't play the second, and he didn't come out and play here in this one. So a 3-yard Moats gain off the left side, and we'll see what they got on second down. It's a passing opportunity for Lucas as he rolls left, and now we'll have to keep it. And as he goes out of bounds, he might have gotten a couple out towards his own sideline.
Penetration up front, actually great job there by West Clermont backfield. We used to call that molly back, so you basically molly back to pick up penetration on the backside, which is a great job what they did there. Unfortunately, just didn't gain a lot. The receivers weren't open.
3rd and 7. So really no gain there by the quarterback, Lucas, who did throw the ball with some strength a week ago. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we progress through the game. He is an upgrade from what they had at quarterback a year ago, but the one ball that you and I probably can recall deep in the game a week ago, I believe it was the fourth quarter as we have a stoppage here, and it might be a timeout for West Clermont. That's their first. So we got now a little time, partner. So he threw a deep ball to Brandon Holder down towards the goal line, and Holder was open for about a full second.
Oh, yeah.
But the ball was left, thrown a little bit late, left a little bit short, and it was intercepted in the corner of the end zone. And that was like really the best opportunity to score the rest of the night for the home team last week.
Yeah, and that was a great play there. They snuck the tight end on the backside out, and, a great design play. He needed to throw that ball a lot quicker. I was honestly kind of jumping up and down in the press box. Throw it. Just didn't throw it in time. But, they have some weapons here on West Clermont. They have them. They just got to figure out a way to get the ball in the hands of their athletes. I would love to see them incorporate the tight end a little bit here as we progress through this game.
Out of the timeout is 3rd and 6 with 10:19 left to go in this half. 21-0 as a blitz coming, and Lucas has to throw one up, and it's incomplete out of the 40-yard line. I mean, he threw up a wounded duck of a prayer looking for, I believe it was Wooldridge out there out on the wing. It's incomplete, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, just, penetration by the defensive line. That's been the name of the game for Lakota West right now. He threw that ball off his back foot. Honestly, the receiver was open. He had just another half a second to throw that ball. We might be talking about possibly a touchdown for West Clermont, but, just that defensive line getting in there and causing disruptions for, quarterback for West Clermont, just, that's going to be tough all night long.
So from the 47-yard line, they're going to punt it away, and I would imagine it's Brown back there on the north end there out his own 25. And they'll stop the play, and see a flag come out, at least out towards the return man. So I don't know what he saw on his side. Thought the whistle had come from right in front of us.
Yeah, I didn't see much of anything. I'm trying to decipher through what that might be.
Well, they've repositioned the ball.
Maybe that's what it was.
So now they're backing up. Okay. So this, it's funny. I caught, as soon as they looked like they were going to get set ready to play, we saw 42 pop up on the screen for a location, and they did mark off 5 on the motion call or the false start. Mishandle, and it's blocked! Out to the sideline. And it's still loose. We've got a grease pig out at the 40. And in any case, it's going to be Lakota West ball in very favorable position. I don't think anybody truly recovered it. Afari might have been out there, but with 10 minutes left to go, that was a comedy of errors.
And I actually was going to comment that in the last 2 punts that West Clermont had, the one back up here in their own end zone, they got a lot of penetration in there from the center, and that's not a good situation, and it just cost them right there with that blocked punt.
So the ball's at the opposing 42 with 10 minutes to play. Pistol set. And the inside give to Good. Off the right side, has the corner. Out to the 30, cuts through. Out to inside the 20-yard line. A beauty of a pickup on first down.
Wow, what a run there, Geoff. Tell you what, slicing and dicing through the defense. Great awareness by the running back. Put his foot down, planted, got upfield, got that big play for the Firebirds.
And we enter the Cincinnati Reds red zone here in this second period as they go right to the line. And the give, it goes to Gumbo off the left side, has some space out towards the 10, inside, 1st and 10, down to the 5, down towards the goal line. Is he in? Touchdown! He just kept churning.
I didn't get a great look at it, but I'll tell you what. Cameron Goode just dragging the defense into the end zone with them. What a fantastic play. This kid's a really special runner. And, we got the replay loaded up here. It looks like maybe coming back. But tell you what, yeah, right here. Just fantastic way to get the ball, realizes where the hole is, puts his foot down, and then just runs and outruns him and then just drags him into the end zone. Great play there by Gumbo.
Point after is good. Brand new score, 28-0. 2 plays that go 29 seconds. 42 yards total, all by Gumbo. He's got the hat trick here in the first half.
mean, just an excellent runner. I mean, my goodness. I mean, the way that Cameron Goode is able to see the field, plant his feet, and then the speed. You just saw it right there. The speed that he's able to have, put on the burners and run, and then the power to drag that defense into the end zone. This kid's got all the facets of being a great running back here in Southwest Ohio.
Well, he showed flashes of it a year ago. Did split time with Joshua Brogdon. Brogdon has since graduated, moved on to Ohio University. So you understand the level of talent, and you just don't have enough footballs to give to running backs when you have a player of the caliber of Brogdon a year ago.
Well, and that's the key. You got to get the ball in the hands of your athletes. I expect to see even more from Gumbo here in the next nine and a half minutes left to go in this half.
Well, and the next score on offense, whether it's a field goal, which you wouldn't think they'd go for at this point, is Spamal will kick out to the 8. Return man angles out to the left side, has the corner, out past the 20. Out towards the 30 and beyond, out towards the 37-yard line, I believe. And if that's Sleet again, he had a good burst of speed finding that edge.
Yeah, great job there. The special teams right now outside of the block punt, have been the lone bright spot so far for West Clermont. Capitalize off this decent field position again. You just got to kind of chop away at this, Jeff, if you're West Clermont. You just got to figure out a way to get some positive momentum for your team. Again, it's a tough situation. Every coach has been in it. It's a tough thing to do.
You're going to spot the ball officially at the 34-yard line. With 9:23 left to go, so as I was mentioning, the next offensive score, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, will start a running clock here in Beckett Ridge. Back to passes, Lucas throws over the middle, incomplete, out of the 40-yard line. As he's looking for 23, I believe, Riley Woldridge.
Great coverage there on the play by Ben Minnick, junior defensive back for the Firebirds. Anxious to see what he does this year. I think he's going to be one of those key players on this defensive squad that can step up, only being a junior.
And the run play on second down, maybe a yard? Maybe. So something that you and I had talked about was the trap play that worked so well against Hamilton. Now, if nothing else, when you have a week to prepare and tape, in live game tape, to watch from, you're going to imagine that some of the things that you had the week before just aren't going to be open like you would hope.
No, they're not, and that's the tough thing, especially when you're running the wing T. You're going up against, arguably one of the best teams in the state right now. So you got to kind of think in your mind, okay, what do I have in my arsenal of plays to try and combat their speed and everything? That's really what the tough thing to do right now is.
Back to pass is the quarterback. Now he'll run, and he'll fall down. His feet gave out from underneath him out at the 35-yard line. So he got back to this line of scrimmage, and not much more, and they're going to have to punt.
No, one thing I did see there, though, was the release by the tight end downfield. He maybe had a step or two there on the linebacker, so I'm going to be interested to see if they come back to that play or come back to some tight end, plays down the middle like they did last week. We'll have to see if they can get that going for the Wolves.
Bring out the punter and Landon Early, who's been awfully busy. So the punt will come from the 35-yard line. And on the opposite 35-yard line, it appears to be Brown. The last time Early got his hands on the ball as a punter, he found himself in heavy traffic, and they're coming after him again. A high, spiraling kick and a fair catch, and it's muffed. It's still loose on the ground, and it's recovered by West Clermont out at the 25-yard line. Recovered by Caleb Stepp.
Well, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. I said it again. I said it last week for the West Clermont Wolves. Whenever you're fair catching a punt, that's always one of the toughest things to do and one of the toughest things to coach. You think it's as easy as catching a fly ball. It's really not. That ball is spinning end over end. It can, variations with the wind can shift it. It's a tough thing to do, especially then you got three guys barreling down at you. That's really, really hard to do. Great job by West Clermont. Got the recovery. got to capitalize right here, Jeff. You got to get a touchdown. I mean, I don't think a field goal does it right now. You got to go get some points on the board if you're the Wolves.
Tight formation. It's a wing T as they bring Lucas in under center. Heskett's at the top of your screen, and they motion Wooldridge. And it goes to Moats, and he has nowhere to go off that right side. Big 96, Kofi Bobby at 6 foot tall and listed at 250 in on the stop.
He's a big guy. Big defensive lineman there. I mean, that's just that's a big person. That's really hard to block if you're up front. The only way to do it is you got to gain leverage on him, get nice and low. But that's really hard to do. He's got great footwork, too. Very quick off the football.
Again, Lucas in under center. See if they do attack off the wing, and it's a reverse pivot give, and nowhere to go. Bryson Early, who didn't see any carries a week ago, got the carry. He's seen some carrying, some action here in this first half, and he takes the loss on the play.
The entire Lakota West defense right now, it seems to me, is about a half a step faster than the offensive line of West Clermont. And that's a really, really difficult situation to be in if you're the Wolves. You know, they are just absolutely shooting the gaps and getting just massive penetration, and there's no movement whatsoever up front for West Clermont.
Twins to the top of your screen as Lucas is in the shotgun. Play action, and now he looks left, looks for Wooldridge, and it's picked off! This is 6! Going the other way! 34-0 Lakota West. Mercy!
Yeah, Jeff, just a poor decision there to throw the football. You kind of saw that one coming, honestly. I mean, he timed it up perfectly, streaking down the sideline. What timing, though, and great awareness by the defensive back there to see the play and got it down the field.
So a defensive touchdown, and we expected to see something to that effect here in this ball game, and it comes here with 6:03 left to go on the interception for pick 6.
Really thought that West Clermont was going to get something there with recovering that fumble, but that's exactly not what you wanted to have happen if you're the Wolves.
So we had a flag on that, Minnick on the interception return, and that was easy pickings for Ben.
Whew. Yeah, timed that up perfectly. I mean, great awareness by Ben Minnick there too. Just time it up perfectly.
Have we seen a revolving door at kicker tonight, by the way? I'm looking.
I think we have. I've got number 7 sprinting on the field. Not quite sure what's going on. Hey, it's still week 2.
So,
everybody's still trying to figure everything out.
Well, Bolden's the holder, right? Bolden's out there. He didn't hold, if I recall, on that last PAT. It's the kicker. And as far as we can tell, we don't have a great view here. Is that 45 or 46? It doesn't matter. The point after is good. And we'll have a running clock. As far as I can tell, that's 46, and that would be Nico Kraus, who's a senior. Well, or is that 49? And that's the thing. Again, we have a glare that we're looking through glass, and we're hard-pressed to see some numbers. And while that might sound like an excuse, it is a hazard of what we do sometimes. That might have been Hannah Duncan, who did get into a ball game a year ago against Coleraine in the playoffs. But we'll sort that out at the half.
We'll figure it out one way or another, partner.
So West Clermont will get the ball back here. 6:03 left to go here in this first half. 35-0. Oh, and the kicker slipped on the attempt on the kickoff, but no yardage gained by one of the upmen out at the 24-yard line. So You get a little damage on one side, and you get a little on the other side, and nothing gained, nothing ventured, and we're good to go with West Clermont here with 6 to go.
Take a look like you pulled a Charlie Brown out there for a minute.
Well, again, where's Lucy, right?
Right, exactly. I'll tell you what, it did rain hard here early on in the pregame, so I'm sure that field is nice and soaked.
Well, the funny thing is, you can blame that on cleats or the lack thereof, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as we see the ball at the 23, right? So 1st and 10, and we'll see if West Clermont can get on the board. They were into West Territory on the last drive, thanks to a muff punt, but could go no further, and then threw a pick 6 to minute. And the running play nets very little on that top side.
I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed so far with this Lakota West defense. I mean, the speed that they have. It's gonna be tough for a lot of opponents this year for Lakota West.
We saw very little to gain. In fact, nothing to gain. They took a loss on the play. So 2nd and 12, and they go to Moats up the middle. Has some space into the secondary. Has the first down. Out to the 35-yard line, a pickup of 14.
Great block on the play there by number 77, Matt Botts, for West Clermont. We talked about him in the pregame. Big center up front, kind of leads that offensive line for the Wolves, and you saw it right there what he can do.
And he did score a touchdown a week ago. Now, that was in a goal line situation inside the 5. You'll find the Lakota West defense a little tougher to penetrate. 1st and 10, and Moats again. Pushing the pile. Good job by the running back as he picks up darn near 5 before they push him backwards. And the ball came out at the end, but they whistle it dead. I understand the enthusiasm of trying to strip a ball away, but when you hear a whistle, you got to stop.
Yeah, and what I always say when kids would do that, like, hey, don't waste your energy. It's a hot night right now. You need to conserve all your energy you can, not just for later on in the game, but for weeks to come, because they got bigger, better opponents to do to coming up down the season for Lakota West.
We have an official stoppage. So says the referee tonight, Tim Baumgartner. Coming on up, a week from tonight, as we're looking ahead to schedules, it'll be a hell of a game here in Beckett Ridge next Friday, as these Lakota West Firebirds will host the Princeton Vikings. Mackay Lynn and that group over there, they put up an outstanding number a week ago for the opening Thursday night game. Back to passes Lucas. He steps up, now goes to the short man, and it's complete out to the sideline, out to midfield to 2, Bryson Early. So Early has carried the ball out of the wing back spot and has gone out into space, and they move the chains, a pickup of 12 on the play.
It's a great job there by Early. What you want in the wing to the offense is backfield players that can do both. Play at the edge, play in the backfield. That's fantastic. He's able to do that. That creates a lot more options calling plays then, where you can put him around where you need him to go.
They'll give Early an extra yard, 1st and 10, and spot it just outside the 48-yard line. Back to the wing tee with Lucas under center, and the reverse pivot give, nothing. And a loss on the play. So Wooldridge got the pickup off that right side, and when that penetration or when the give comes to the right side back, the key right up the middle for Lakota West is simple. They just attack right up the middle.
They attack, and what they're doing, Jeff, is they're playing what we call heel depth at the defensive line. So they're not over-penetrating, which is what we saw a little bit Hamilton do in the first quarter last week. They over-penetrated and allowed West Clermont to get those running lanes and those angles. They're doing a great job of maintaining discipline, playing heel depth, and then tackling literally right at the line of scrimmage. That was a brick wall right there. He wasn't going anywhere.
So we have a timeout, and timeouts, I believe, are even at 2 right now. So the last one was charged here to Lakota West here as the home team. On the opposite side, as far as schedules are concerned, it'll be the start of conference play at home for West Clermont. They'll host Lebanon next week, next Friday.
start the ECC battle, man. That's a tough conference. And anytime that they start going against each other, I mean, it is a brutal conference to be in.
Well, you have much more of the neighborhood effect, right? You know, bragging rights among young men. And, you know, in the case that we have tonight, West Clermont and Lakota West are a good 40, 45 minutes away from one another. So it's a bit of a drive. And the give to Moats off right tackle, still churning to get back to the original line of scrimmage and might have gotten there.
It's like Coleraine took another, or excuse me, Lakota West took another timeout there.
Well, they had done so well on offense, and I think they want to make sure they get another score before they enter the locker rooms at half. I mean, right now it is a 35-point lead, but you saw them stall out here as they've been attacking the south end zone, and you don't want that to get in somebody's head, especially when you have such a big lead.
Well, exactly. You definitely want to go into halftime on a positive note and get a positive drive together, because, you know, you're going to be up by quite a bit. You'll probably start your starters the first time, and then you want to get those you know, twos and JV players into the ball game. But you definitely want to set a tone here, and you're right. They definitely had a couple drives stall out heading down this way, heading to the south. So, yeah, if you're Coach Bolden, you want to get that ball back. You want to go into the locker room halftime on a positive note. And so those younger players who hopefully may, knock on wood, see some playing time here, have that momentum in the second half.
Well, one of the things that I'm thinking about as far as Tom Bolton is concerned is how long he does want to go with the starters. They do have a big lead right now with 2:38 left to go in the half. However, they did get beat up pretty well by the number one team in the state. So how many reps is too many reps? I think that'll be the question. Wing T look, but out of the shotgun is Lucas. Looking left, now flushed from the pocket. He steps up and it's dropped for a loss. He might have gotten back to the 49-yard line, a loss of 2 on the play. So this is one thing that you understand with the defensive backfield that Lakota West offers you. Alex Safari's not going to give you any time in the deep middle, where he's playing safety these days. Jair Brown's absolutely not going to give you anything on the corner. And Josh Fussell, who played significant minutes last year, has moved up to a starting cornerback spot, and he's not going to allow you anything either.
Well, I mean, with all of the players you just mentioned right there, look at, they can lock you down deep so you have nowhere to go. And then their linebackers and the penetration they get on the defensive line up front, I mean, you've covered all three facets that you need to cover if you're a defense. So anytime you're able to have those type of athletes, I mean, that's just, I mean, cherry on top of the ice cream there for Lakota West.
So timeout charge to West Clermont. I believe they're out of timeouts here in this half.
I think actually, yeah, they are out. Trying to see
2:25 left to play here in this first half. As we do a quick recap, it's been the gumbo show here tonight. Not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns, a hat trick for Cameron Goode. And he scored them from a bunch of distances. Goode has scored from 24, from 7, and again from 20. That last particular run that he had from 20 was impressive as he carried a couple men into the end zone with him. So he's got 3 in the book, and I think they'll punt here in this situation.
Now, one thing you don't want to do here is you don't want to get a block punt again. Here they come!
And this one angles, it's a duck to the right. It's still in play, and now it takes a West Clermont, or beg your pardon, a Lakota West bounce back towards the 30-yard line. 21 yards on the punt, nothing on the return, and a 2-minute drill coming on up for Lakota West.
Yeah, we're going to see a good 2-minute drill here. See what Coach Bolden dials up, because you definitely know that they want to get points. They want to go to the end zone. They have no timeouts right now. So again, great teaching situation, because you know that this situation is going to come up later on in the playoffs, later on down once they get into the GMC. You know, the heart of the GMC. So again, great situation time now. Great film you can get on your kids in your 2-minute drill.
Well, to that point, as we go twins to the bottom of your screen and twins to the top side, they're going to look to pass, and now we've got a stoppage. Well, and a timeout. Well, I thought West Clermont was out of timeouts. Now they're out of timeouts.
Now they are, yeah. Actually, I think it's that flagpole that screwed me up, at least from my angle here on the scoreboard. But, just kind of going back to what we were just talking about, again, this is a great coaching moment if you're Coach Bolden. And I know that's why he wants to have this type of situation. Hey, look, guys, 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes left to go on the clock. We used to call it, when I was at Loveland, we called it NASCAR. So we're going to get in our NASCAR formations. We're going to be in quick, hurry-up mode right now. Great practice, great time to, continue to coach your kids. And that's one of the biggest things that, we learned as coaches. When you're up big, that's not when you take the pedal, take your foot off the pedal coaching-wise. That's actually where you hunker down, and I'm telling my guys on the phones, everything, hey, hunker down and coach the kids now. Coach them harder than you have, even when it's a close game, just so they can get that extra practice in and focus in on the fundamentals when you're up like this.
Twins on each side of the quarterback in the gun is Bolden. With time, he looks deep middle. Now he steps up. He rolls left, looking to throw, and it is incomplete out of the 48-yard line, intended for Brown.
Now, the one weird situation is you have this running clock going on here, so it's going to be a kind of a different 2-minute drill. But again, a great way to practice it.
One of the things that you're seeing in the back end, and by the way, I'm changing subjects on you real quick,
You're good.
is the marching band, and we didn't really get to see that a year ago. Schools were limited in what they could do, and in a lot of cases, some high schools decided not to put a band on the field. Watching the band come on out, get ready for a halftime show is a welcome sight.
Absolutely. It's just great to see fans in the stand. This place is packed here tonight.
So we didn't see exactly the yickety-yak what happened, but it's a 15-yarder. So, again, you feel like this is a word to your mother kind of moment. Deep drop for Bolden. Now sets up the screen for Good. Down the sideline to the 30. Cuts back to the middle of the field. Out towards the 40. Out towards midfield. Could he go the distance to the 40? To the 30. He's gone. Goodbye. 85 yards, and there's a flag at the end of the play. Mercy, what a run. But this one, I would imagine, will come back.
Take a look at here on the replay. You're going to see a great block by number 14, Brendan Ramey, for Lakota West right there. Just able to stave off that guy, and then great job having the awareness to see where the defenders were, slice and dice through like a hot knife through butter, man.
So they're going to march backwards from the point of the infraction. Now, I saw the flag at the end of the play, and I thought that was another word to your mother moment. But that doesn't appear to be the case, given what you said, where the foul was here at the midfield, and then where they'll mark it back from there.
Yeah, it looks like he signaled that it was a holding call against Lakota West on that play.
So it's a pickup officially of 35 on the pass play. And again, Twins to each side, and they'll wind up the clock with 49 to go. Bolden out of the gun, steps up with time, down the sideline, incomplete. Out of the 35-yard line, tried to throw that one into traffic. So Richardson was the intended receiver on that, and the clock continues to roll. This is the difficult part of a running clock in a situation where even on incompletions, you've got the clock rolling down. Under 23 left to go. Deep drop for Bolden with time. He throws out to the sideline, and the receiver takes it out of bounds. So it's Brown with the catch. I believe that's his first reception of the night. 8 seconds left to go. Let's see if they heave-ho towards the end zone. And the clock just ran out. There's some indecision on the field, and I think we're going to call it a half. We are. As you see the home sideline move and matriculate out to their own locker room, and a big first half, a big first 24 minutes for Lakota West. They put 35 up on the board and pitched shutout ball so far through 6 quarters, the last 6 quarters against West Clermont. Your score at intermission. The state's 4th-ranked team, 35, and West Clermont, nothing. We'll take a timeout here, and when we return, we'll bring you the second half here on Chatterbox Plus. We're here at the half, 35-0 in favor of the home team on opening night for them, Lakota West, on the strength of not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns by Gumbo, Cam Goode, here in the first half. And before we break down those numbers here, I want to tell you that If your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartell's Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time. And if you need a new unit, Bartell's will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartell's 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartellsheatingandcooling.com. Bartell's Heating and Cooling for a comfortable way of life. Time now to look at our halftime numbers here in this first half, and clear domination, as you can well see, in favor of the home team tonight.
Yeah, Lakota West, 161 total rushing yards to West Clermont's -1. Geoff, I'm here to tell you right now, that's not what you want to see if you're a West Clermont fan or a coach. -1 net rushing yards, especially when you run the wing T offense. Not what you want to see there. And then, obviously, time of possession is one thing kind of interesting. This is what you'll see with the wing T. West Clermont's held the ball longer than they have. They're down 35 points, though. So that's where that can be a misleading indicator sometimes, especially when you're that run-heavy offense like West Clermont's in. But, right now, all Cameron Goode. Gumbo right now running all over the West Clermont defense, 99 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Mitch Bolden with a nice touchdown run as well. So, again, all things are turning and burning right now for the Lakota West Firebirds. One interesting point, though, Coach Bolden was really upset going into halftime. You might be saying, well, wait a minute, he's up 35-0. Why would he be upset? He was not happy with the way his team performed in that 2-minute drill. Remember, I told him before the half, I said, you're always coaching, and this is where you're going to coach even harder right now when you're up big, 35-0. Coach Bolden was not a happy camper at all walking in the locker room at halftime.
One of the things that we're noticing as we're watching here are some warm-ups here as Mitch Bolden is getting some snaps out on the sideline to start things off here in the second half. And so, if nothing else, the first team will see action here to get things going when we resume action. One more here for you, and then we'll talk a little bit more. And we want to tell you that Eli Sports Bar and Grill proudly sponsors high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and in Ross. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun. A delayed start for us tonight by 70 minutes, and boy, has the wait been worthwhile for the home team here in Beckett Ridge. 35-0. Some other highlights here in this. One, Ben Minnick had a pick 6 on I don't want to say a wounded duck, but it was a telegraph pass by Nolan Lucas. And, in this case, Minnick out on that far hash mark was just licking his chops, and nobody was in front of him.
He timed that up perfectly. He saw what was coming. They read it probably from his game prep and the film that they saw all week long. Saw the formation, recognized what they were doing, timed it up perfectly, streaked down the sideline for a great pick 6 for Ben Minnick and the Lakota West Firebirds.
And on one more here, Mitch Bolden got the scoring underway with a 28-yard touchdown run. Just about 4 plays into scrimmage here in this ball game. So that's how long they've had the lead, just scant seconds into the ball game, just like West Clermont did for a good portion of the game last week when they scored on the second play from scrimmage. Turnabout it being fair play here in this case. However, not fair for West Clermont. A week ago, they put 300 yards on the ground against Hamilton, and again, as you mentioned, -1 tonight here on the ground through 24 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for West Clermont, and right now, coming out of the half. Okay, listen, guys. If I'm Coach Ayers right now, I'm saying, hey, look, we got to win the third quarter. Okay, that's our goal for right now coming out here. Nothing else matters. The score doesn't matter. The yardage doesn't matter. We need to win the third quarter. Let's check that off the box. If we can do that, we're going to have momentum going into the fourth quarter. Not saying we're going to win the ball game, but let's focus on that little goal right there. Let's compartmentalize and break this game down. That's what you got to do if you're Coach Ayers in West Clermont.
One advantage here for Lakota West, if you will, and it's not an advantage as far as being able to game prep for Princeton next week, is the fact that we'll have a running clock here in the second half, unless we see West Clermont score for the first time in their last 6 quarters here in Beckett Ridge. Now, keep in mind, they had that playoff game here a year ago, and they were shut out in that game. And I believe that's the only official matchup between the two schools since West Clermont came into existence 3 years ago.
I think you're absolutely right. There's no history going back. So, again, it's been tough sledding over here at Beckett Ridge for West Clermont in back-to-back years now. We'll see what they can do in the second half.
So until West Clermont scores, as we await the kickoff here by Spamal, and this one will be taken by the deep man at the 5. 10, 15, out to the 20. as we get things back underway here in half number 2. So until West Clermont scores, what will be immutable things, as far as certainties in life: death, taxes, and shutouts against West Clermont by Lakota West. And I don't mean to be glib about that, but that is the case through 6 quarters.
Yeah, right now, just like I said, really right now, if you're West Clermont, you just got to really compartmentalize this game down. Guys, let's just win the 3rd quarter. Let's focus on that. That's all we need to focus on. That's what I'm telling my coaching staff to focus on and hammer into these guys right now.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line. They motion Woldridge, and they give to the tailback, Moats, for a few yards on the play. So on the other side for West Clermont, I think the question will also be, how long do you go with the first team and allow, your second team to get in? I think on the other hand, in regards to that, partner, is you need your first team to get more work.
Yeah, it's all about experience, and these are teaching, moments right now. And, again, this is where you're going to kind of size up what kind of team you have when you're down like this. Last week it was the reverse role. They were up and gave up the lead early in the ball game in the first half. So we'll have to see how they come out here.
And again, another tailback give, maybe a yard on that play. One of the things that has caught my attention in just watching this first half, and it's the quarterback keeping it, actually, it looks like, is that it's jarring for me to see Alex Afari wearing that big number 2 towards the bottom of your screen when he sets up down towards the line. This is a young man that I know he'll play press corner, but at the same time, when you see him out guarding the edge, knowing what he is, and he's a 4-star cornerback, he's going to the University of Kentucky, it is still odd to see.
It reminds me a lot of what Moeller did with Sam Hubbard back in the day. They put him at safety, but man, he was down in the box, playing hard. He was, he hit those, like you said, he's all legs. They can move, fit, form, shuffle all over the field. So again, he's just got that dual threat at that linebacker, safety, cornerback position.
We appear to have a stoppage in play with 9:54 left to play here in the 3rd. Charge to the Wolves, their first of the half. And if your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartell's Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time. And if you need a new unit, Bartell's will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartell's 0% interest financing for 16 months. Learn more at bartellsheatingandcooling.com. Bartell's Heating and Cooling, for a comfortable way of life. I don't know if we're any more comfortable than last week when we were in the sweatbox over at West Clermont. You and I don't know if I lost 5 pounds that night, but I did feel a little lighter in the pants when I walked home.
You and me both, man. You and me both. I tell you what, that was a scorcher. Luckily, because of the late start, that sun kind of went down. It's a little bit better here tonight, but still, it's muggy out there.
Twins to the bottom of your screen on 3rd down. The quarterback operating out of the shotgun, looking deep middle, and now steps up and throws, and it is picked off. We'll see where forward progress is. I want to say right around the 45-yard line, but it's a pick, a second one tonight against Nolan Lucas.
Nolan Lucas on that play right there, he almost had a running lane. And I think what they're going to find tomorrow when they go look at this play actually in film, they're going to say, hey, you got to tuck that and run. One thing I noticed, his eyes were on that receiver from the time he snapped the ball to the time he threw the interception. He stared that guy down. He's got to be able to look those guys off. Otherwise, those DBs are just going to key in, looking at that quarterback and staring at his eyes because, he telegraphed that interception right to the defensive back.
So progress out to the 47-yard line. That's officially where they take over 1st and 10. Lakota West up by 35. They motion Gonzalez to the right, and the give goes to Good off the right side, has the corner, and good yardage on 1st down, has nearly 10 on the play, and he should be over the century mark now.
Yeah, another great, fantastic run there. Really what you're seeing so far by the, this Lakota West offense is they're just, in the trenches right now, just getting a fantastic push up front against this West Clermont defensive line. It's been going on all night long.
Pickup of 9. He's at 108 on 10 carries. He's over the century mark for the first time this year. Out of the gun is Actually, it's a wildcat look, and here we go! Afari down the sideline, inside the 20, out towards the 10-yard line. A pickup of 28 on the play.
There he is, Afari, the UK Wildcat, man. Tell you what, you want to talk about dual threat. Had a touchdown last week, and now this big run here at the Wildcat position, streaking down the sideline. I mean, just what a fantastic athlete that Alex Afari is right here. I mean, you just see the speed that he has. This kid's going to do some big things at the next level.
And I think this is a little bit more in tune of what they wanted in the second quarter when they didn't score on offense. Or actually, they did score on offense once. It was Cam Goode who got the 20-yarder to this end of the end zone. And the quarterback throwing, and it is caught! Touchdown! Hollywood, hooray for Hollywood. He gets 6, 41-0.
Great play call there by Coach Bolden's staff. Saw the leverage, was able to get it there, had the slant pass right in there. Great job by Mitch Bolden. Woo!
So Brown gets 6, hooray for Hollywood, and we're waiting for the point after attempt. Got a different holder and a different kicker this time. The holder this time was Aaron Peters. I think we might have called his name back in the first half. And Tyler Bone, at 5'9", 155 pounds, a junior, puts it through 42-0. Drive summary here on this one. As this one went just under 2 minutes, a minute 57 off the clock. Went 47 yards on 3 plays, capped off by the touchdown pass from Bolden, who gets his 3rd touchdown pass of the year. And he gets it to Jair Brown, his first score offensively this season.
Great job to Jair Brown to get that first score. You know, get the monkey off his back. Didn't have one last week. Finally got one this, now. And just another great job. Slant routes are always tough, especially on the goal line. I'm not a fan of throwing them because I've been burned by them too many times. But I'll tell you what, fantastic job by by Mitch Bolden, zooming the ball in there. Only, and there was one person that was going to catch that. And that was the receiver for Lakota West. Great job.
Well, that is something by design that Lakota West had worked on in scrimmage against both Elder and Sycamore this year. Goal line passing situations, 5 yards and in. Instead of going to automatically to the run, they have gone to passing situations. Brown had been a target. Trent Lloyd, who we've not talked about, I think since opening up the ball game, has been a target in those situations. 42-0 with 7:47 left to go. And it's a short kick. Actually, it's a deep kick, and it goes to Sleet. Or actually, I believe it's a different player up towards the 20-yard line, looking to see if, looked like it might have been Sampson, Caden Sampson on the return for about 15. And it's 1st and 10 as the clock moves with 7:30 left to go here in the third.
So far, absolute just dominance performance right now by the entire Lakota West. But I'll tell you what, Gumbo here tonight, man. I mean, what a great running back we've seen here for the Firebirds. I mean, just running all over the West Clermont defense, 108 yards on the ground right now tonight.
And officially spot the ball at the 21-yard line. Still trying to get on the board. Single wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. That's Hesketh. Emotion Sampson as he sweeps, has the corner into space and into the secondary. Good pickup on 1st down.
Great sweep play there. Just a classic wing T sweep play by the West Clermont Wolves. Might have another stoppage out there.
We do have 6:37 frozen on the clock as we have an injury. A Wolf down on the ground.
Quite sure who that is.
As we're taking a look, 3, that's the ball carrier and Sampson. So Caden Sampson is a senior running back getting some time in lieu of Marcus Johnson, who we had mentioned at the top of our broadcast, had run off a pair of big runs last week, had really keyed the 300-yard rushing attack against Hamilton. Initially left the ball game late in the first, came back in the second, and then did not appear after halftime, and it's been a scoreless effort on offense ever since.
Ever since he left the ball game. You're absolutely right there, Jeff. And, that type of running back is really hard to replace. And when you lose that kind of type of athlete to injury, I mean, it can be demoralizing to an offense. But, you got to start leaning on your other leaders like Matt Botts, the 6'3", 315-pound center. He's been the anchor of the offensive line for West Clermont. So, you got to figure out who you're going to go to next when you have an injury like that.
Next man up, right?
Yep, that's what it's all about, man. Next man up. Always got to be ready.
Well, as far as what's next for us, hard to say exactly, but we do know what's up next for Lakota West. They have a massive game against Princeton a week from tonight. That should be the feature game, not just in the GMC, but all across the region, maybe even in the state, because both teams last year finished the regular season in the AP Top 10.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm anxious to see that game, and that's going to be really the big first test. Well, actually, the second test for Lakota West, having gone up against St. X last week. So that's going to be a fantastic GMC matchup.
Lucas under center. They motion a man to the right and the give to the deep back, and still on his feet, kept his feet, and should have the first down. And we have another down player. Looked like a big guy off the defensive line for Lakota West. So Moats on the carry for first down, and we'll see who the injured Lakota West Firebird is.
I think that was Brian Henderson that's down there, number 99, the defensive end.
So Henderson, the lone returning starter on the defensive line from a heralded defense from a year ago. And how heralded were the Firebirds from a year ago? They were so good that all 11 starters from last year's squad have college offers, so these are players that are still playing today, literally and figuratively, or those who have graduated from last year's class. All 11 are playing college ball somewhere.
I mean, that's just incredible. That just shows just how dominant they were last year. I mean, that St. X game that you guys had here in the regional final was just unbelievable, and you just saw two head-to-head matchups. It was almost a toss-up. Who's going to win? You don't know with that two good teams like that.
So two straight injury timeouts, and we're back to action with 6:08 and counting left to go here in this third. 42-0 in favor of Lakota West. Homecoming has been home cooking for them here tonight. And off the left side, Wooldridge has an angle for just a moment and picks up nearly 5 on the play. So good job by Riley Wooldridge.
Good job here by West Clermont getting something going here. That's what they need to be doing. This is probably the most offensive production we've seen out of the Wolves so far here tonight. So just got to kind of keep that momentum going, guys. That's what you got to do.
So they will call it 5 as we melt the clock down to under 5:30 here in this third. And again, a running clock. When you have that score by a 30-plus point margin, you get a running clock in high school football, even in the playoffs. And up the middle to the tailback, and a first down, a pickup of 10.
A flag back there.
And we see the flag right around, the 41-yard line. And one of the things that we're seeing, and they're not obviously running behind directly to the center, Matt Botts, but we are seeing these chunk plays now coming just to the side of him, primarily to the left of him.
And that's what the wing tee does. You want to get the angle blocks down, so you're not going to necessarily run right behind your center. You're going to run on either side so he can get that angle down on that nose tackle and seal him off. And you're right, Jeff. Great job by West Clermont these past few plays, or even just really in this drive, getting great push on the defensive line for Lakota West finally.
So they'll push it back, and it's 2nd and 13 out at the 32 after the penalty. So it must have been a hold a few yards up after, and then they've pushed it back.
All my friends left in the student section.
So the give, it goes to Moats, still keeping his feet, and good yardage on second down. And again, that little sleight of hand just to the left of the center.
Yep, and that's where you got to lean on. They're leaning on their big guy, Matt Botts, and right now he might be one of the best athletes on the field for West Clermont, right now. So, hey, that's who I'm going to run after. And, I got momentum right now if I'm Coach Ayers. I don't want to give up this momentum. They had the penalty. We're able to get it back, so now they just got to keep this thing going right now.
Twins to the bottom of your screen. It's 3rd and 2. You need the 45 for the line to gain, and they got a first down. So nice effort, and the ball come out at the end. So we've got a scrum, and it'll stay up front. So Moats on the good carry. The ball squirted out, but they call him dead out at the, we're going to say, the 49-yard line, just across midfield.
And it looks like Lakota West has started to filter in some of their, twos, and some of those JV players start getting on defense a little bit. So that's why you're probably seeing them, West Clermont, take advantage of this now, get some positive momentum going.
Out of the gun is Lucas. And it's the give up the middle, and again, good yardage. So where was this here in the first half?
Well, I think really what you kind of did there, Jeff, is you really got back to, okay, what was working for us? What can we do? So what I'm seeing right now is I notice they have spread out their splits on the offensive line, which spreads them out, so you kind of create angles that way. So that's a great coaching point there for any young coach in the wing T. If you see yourself struggling with up the middle runs, spread those splits out a little bit. Create space for yourself up the gut.
I have to admit, I didn't even see Bryson Early get the ball. He picked up 8 on the last play, 2nd and 2. So down in distance with 2:18 to go here in the third. And the quarterback play action looking to the sideline, incomplete. Looking for Brandon Holder. So he did get down the field, had the linebacker beat on the pass play, but instead it goes 3rd and 2.
Actually, really good pass protection there by West Clermont, the offensive line there, and that's what they need to have, because you're going to have to start throwing the ball. You got to get those downfield plays going here. Just again, this is all about positive momentum for your West Clermont. That's what you want to have. And then on the other side, great teaching moments right now, coaching moments for Lakota West as they filter in these, 2 and JV players.
This is the 9th play of the drive here for West Clermont. 3rd and 2. And they give to the up man, who still on his feet, has the first down. So Moats converts, and they continue to melt the clock as we come up on a minute to play here in this third. And again, the benefit of the running clock, you and I will finally get dinner here in about, I would say, 30 minutes from now.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, I am hungry. That is for sure right now.
I'll tell you a little bit more about the kind help that we've gotten here tonight. 1st and 10 at the 36. This is the 10th play of the drive. And the reverse give, and it goes to Woldridge, and he's got good yardage on first down. So we want to give thanks to Darren and Jody Walters. Darren's the football contact for Lakota West. Jody actually did the real work, the muscle tonight for Lakota West, making sure that the folks here working the game in media got pizza tonight. So thank you very much, the Walters. 20 seconds to go. 2nd and 3 after the pickup of 7 by Woldridge. And they put Woldridge out to a wing to a right. Single wideout, that's Hesketh. As we melt the clock under 10. And they give to Early, and he is sniffed out. A loss on the play. And that'll be the final play of this third period. And we do want to say hooray for Hollywood. 42-0 your score after 3 periods here in Beckett Ridge. We'll be back with the final quarter here on Chatterbox Plus. Twelve more minutes left to go here in this one, and it has been Lakota West all the way, 42-0. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus as we head the other direction. And I think this is play number 11 on a run play here for West Clermont. And I'll bring up 4th down. That was playing number 11, by the way. And then they started this drive with 7:30 left to go in the third, and we're now in the 4th quarter.
Hey, that's what you want right now. If I'm Coach Ayers, I'm very positive. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing with my offense right now. Sustained drive, getting it down the field, doing some things different, and that's what you need to have, especially when you're down big like this. It's the little things.
Early a wing to the left. They motion a man in Wooldridge, and the quarterback rolling right, looking to throw. The home run down the sideline, incomplete, and the flag comes in. This might be pass interference.
And I was just going to give the defensive back actually some props. I thought it was great coverage. The only thing he didn't do, he didn't turn back and look for the football. And any time that you don't do that, Jeff, you're going to get a flag, especially in high school football. You got to turn back, make a play on the football, which he did not do there. So, that's just, that's a great teaching point, though. They'll see that tomorrow morning in film, and they'll coach him up on that.
Well, I would imagine one of the things now that you have 7 shutout quarters, inside of a calendar year against the same opponent, you don't want to be the one who gives up the touchdown.
Yes, that is very true.
So the ball's now at the 17-yard line, and we're now into the Cincinnati Reds red zone for the first time here in this fourth quarter. Holder comes in under center. Tight on the wing tee, early on the motion. And the give, it goes to Moats, or actually it's the end around, coming to the near side. It's Wooldridge, and he's stopped at the 10-yard line. Stopped out there by Jacob Asbeck.
Great pancake block there. I'm trying to see the number for West Clermont. Can't get it there, but great blocking up front. One of those plays where you're running a little bit too much sideways. You got to find a place where you can plant your foot and get upfield. He did there, and now see if we can't get some points out of this for West Clermont.
This is the 14th play of the drive. Here again, the wing tee. And the give, Moats up the middle, up to the goal line, and 6 for Moats. And the drought is broken, 42-6.
And that looked like just that simple little trap play that we saw work so well for him last week, Jeff, in the first quarter. Right up the gut, great play. Great play call by Nick Coach Ayers and his coaching staff. Yep, that's all it was. That simple little trap play.
So the point after attempt coming on up. Manuel Berry out of the hold of Landon Early. Riley Barth is the long snapper. Berry was 4 for 4 all in the first quarter a week ago over in Amelia. And it's up and through, 42-7. So if nothing else, they've held their own literally and figuratively here in the second half.
And again, that was one of my keys coming out of halftime for West Clermont. You got to win the third quarter now, obviously into the fourth quarter, but so far they've done that. And that's what they need to do. It's those little victories, and when you're down big like that you can take into Saturday morning, say, okay, guys, look, here's what we did wrong. Obviously, we got some things to work on. But, hey, great job on accomplishing those goals that we set for you. It's the positive things. It's still early on in the season, man. They got the whole ECC to go through still, so it's a long way to go for West Clermont. They have talent. They have the skills. They just got to build on it, and they will continue to build, especially once they get into the league.
Drive took 14 plays, 79 yards. As we're trying to count back on this, darn near 10 minutes. We're talking just a couple seconds short of 10 full minutes. The Moats touchdown run, the conversion's good, and we got a brand new score in Beckett Ridge, 42-7.
Having seen West Clermont last week, that is by far their longest drive that they've had, because those points that they got in the first quarter last week were quick. It was 2 long touchdowns and then a fumble recovery. So, those were really, really quick. So that's positive right there, Jeff. They were able to sustain that drive.
Well, the 2 touchdowns that Marcus Johnson had a week ago were on the second play of a drive. And then you had a turnover that went into the hands of Connor Pruitt. And that was on a first play from scrimmage of the season for Hamilton. You thought bad omen at that point for the Big Blue, and not the case. And then you got good field position later in the quarter, and then it was a short touchdown run from Zach Moats, who just scored his second of the year here just a moment ago. 9:24 left to go. Short kick, and we'll do it again.
Took off a little bit early. Oops, excuse me, Jeff.
We had mentioned a little bit ago about both teams, whether they were playing or what they had going on a week from tonight. It gets back to being really tough, particularly for Lakota West. They'll take on Princeton and Mackay Lynn, and I don't know if we'll get a chance to see that game personally, but I can't wait to see Lynn throw the ball over there just to our south. And then on the other side, it'll be the conference starter against Lebanon for West Clermont. And that'll be a home game out in Amelia from the 35. Return man at the 16. 20-25 out to the 30, and the ball came out or did it come out as it rolls out towards the sideline? I think it stays up front, out at the 35-yard line with 9:12 left to go here in the ball game.
Anxious to see what they do Lakota West-wise, if they're going to put, I think they got Mitch Bolden on the sidelines right now, so we're going to see a new quarterback in for them. Haven't seen this offense that much here in the second half, Jeff. So, this is a great coaching opportunity, great time to get these young guys in the ball game.
We'll see who takes it under center. I think you might have the 2 deep out in front of you. In any case, it's twins to the near side. And the ball will be a sweep to the right and cutting back to the other side. This may be a home run. Javon Wilson deep into West Clermont territory. A big, big run on first down.
Great job there to recognize that there was nothing to the right, cuts it back all the way down the sidelines. Just turns on the jets right here. One way, boop, back the other way. Now plants his foot, gets upfield, and then it's just a foot race.
And by the way, we apologize for butchering their name, and then we've got a running play here, and it's short yardage here. Giovanni Wilson. Thank you very much. Appreciate the help on that. So Giovanni is spelled a little different than the way I would think about pronouncing it that way. It's Jiovionni. When you have the O after the I, Giovanni doesn't really come right to mind. And Wilson will get the carry, and he is stopped at the line. Might have lost a yard on that one. So beg your pardon on the pronunciation, but, this is what happens in garbage time when you're not preparing for players that you end up seeing.
See Coach Bolden down the sideline, still coaching up his guys. I love to see it. You're up big. You got the coaches still with the headsets on. They're coaching these guys the same way they would coach their starters on Friday night. Just and that's a testament to how good of a coach Coach Bolden is. A lot of coaches say, hey, bring the coaches down from the press box, come on down. He's telling his guys, hey, coach these kids up. This is a coaching opportunity right now to get these guys on film, and I love what I'm seeing right now from Lakota West.
By the way, we didn't get a chance to mention it. Nolan Parker's the quarterback. He gets the ball, he gets the throw, and now he'll step up, and he'll be hogtied at the 10-yard line. So he had nowhere to throw and then had to eat it at the end there. So Parker is a 5'8", 150-pound sophomore, and he's playing behind a junior. So you would imagine that this might be a situation where he's going to be a backup this year and next year, and then have an opportunity to start his senior year here in Beckett Ridge.
Yeah, I think you might be seeing the future right now of Lakota West football on the field, especially at the quarterback position. Still got another year to go with Mitch Bolden, just a junior right now. But again, great opportunity for these young guys to get in the ball game, get that experience, that Friday night experience. It's not like Saturday morning. It's not like Thursday afternoon when you're a freshman or JV player. This is much, much bigger than that.
So an opportunity for 3 here. The ball's placed at the 10-yard line. Aaron Peters will get a chance to kick. We've seen a revolving door at kicker tonight, and we have a stoppage in play with 5:37 left to go here in this ball game. Timeout.
Yeah, timeout by Coach Bolden there, and I was kind of watching the sideline for Lakota West because this is always tough. When you're a special teams coordinator and they start rotating guys in, it's really, really difficult, and you got to be really on point. And that time they were missing a guy, on the field goal unit there. So, again, this is a training. This is training for the coaches. This is training for the players. You got to be aware on the sidelines where you're at. Unfortunately, I had to take a time out there. But again, they'll see that on film tomorrow, and they'll start coaching these guys up.
So as we come back out to the field, Aaron Peters will get an opportunity to kick here. Or is Peters is actually the holder, beg your pardon. The kick is away, pinwheeling to the goal line and good. 27-yard field goal. 45-7. You're speechless on this one, as am I.
Yeah, it's one of those games where I'm just so impressed. I was trying to think of something to say really about this Lakota West team in general. I mean, right now you're seeing, I think, one of the top teams in the state. Really anxious to see what they do throughout this GMC and, into the late season push. They went up against one of the arguably probably the best team in the state. Let's call St. Xavier that right now at this point early on the season. And so I'm anxious to see. I got a feeling we're going to see that Lakota West St. Xavier matchup down into November.
Wooldridge is one of the deep backs, as well as Cameron Sleet out at the 10-yard line. Is that 33 that's kicking? And again, we're kind of obscured from where we're at. 35. 35 is Tyler Bone. We did mention his name back in the first half.
Yeah, it's kind of rough when they're rotating those kickers in like they have been all night long. It's a little unusual, but I guess got to get them some playing time, some one way or another.
From the 12. Here comes Sleet. 20, angles to the sideline, 30, and out of bounds as he's pushed out of there. Jacob Asbeck, I think, was the first one down on the sideline.
Another opportunity now for the West Clermont Wolves. Let's see if they can, do what they did on the last drive there. Again, we talked about the goals. You got to win this second half. So far, it's tied up, but, they just got to keep grinding down the field for Coach Ayers here. Let's see what he can dial up here with just under 5 minutes left to go in the ball game.
While we have a moment, and we're officially in garbage time, so we have more than just a moment. As we set up in a very tight wing tee for Nolan Lucas, and we'll tell you about what we want to say here in just a moment. It goes to Moats behind, again, Matt Botts, and he's pushed back after a cursory gain of maybe 4 on the play. We want to wish a hearty congratulations to Reed Nicholas Mouse, who got married today. Somebody took mercy on his poor soul and actually said that I'm going to marry you. And we wish the best to him and his new bride, Mariana, who, by the way, as we were talking amongst our production staff prior to the ball game, Reed totally outkicked his coverage. And that's about as close to a laugh as we get tonight. The score has been the other laugher here, as Early gets the ball, and he's got first down yardage on second down. He needed to get about on 6, and he got plenty more than that to bring up first down. And once more here as we move out the clock down to 3:42.
Number 2, Bryson Early.
Just really trying right now, especially if you're Lakota West. Right now, guys, they can't score again. All right, we are not letting the West Clermont score again. That's got to be the goal for these young guys. Great opportunity now to get some Friday night experience. You're seeing the future of Lakota West football out there right now.
And we got some motion on the line. And we'll bring it back.
Yep, we used to call that, you got to hold your water, Jeff. Hold the water there on that line, especially when you're doing multiple counts, trying to draw the defense off. Somebody jumped on that right side. Again, that's not you can't have that in the wing T offense.
1st and 15 from the 46. At 2:48 left to go here to the conclusion of this one. This one hadn't been in doubt for a while. But on behalf of you and myself, I did want to say that it has been a pleasure to watch the number 4 team in the state as Wooldridge gets the ball off the right side and gets back towards the original line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up 3rd down. So this is a team that lost to the number 1 team in the state in St. X a week ago, 31-14. Mitch Bolden wasn't particularly great in that one. In fact, in the second half, he threw a pick 6 to Grant Lyons, who was the MVP of that version of the Skyline Chili Crosstown Shootout. He has been lights out tonight when he's gotten a chance. 2nd and we'll call it 9. Beg your pardon. So it wasn't 3rd down. It's now 2nd down, and now the reverse pivot. Now the ball's on the ground, and now it's early, and he breaks out of a tackle and has room to go. He gets a few more yards, so it should have been a 4-yard loss. Instead, he picks up 4.
Great job there, by the running back. Keep the drive alive, keep the play alive there. With Lakota West on that play, got to break down and tackle, and they over-pursued. Play heel depth, keep them in front of you, break down and make the tackle. Again, coaching points that they'll see tomorrow morning on films.
We haven't seen him on the field for a while because the game's been not a factor for a while, but we did mention that Jair Brown, who we affectionately call Hollywood, got a touchdown in the ball game, and we did at the end of the 3rd quarter play Hooray for Hollywood. Do you know where that comes from?
Listen, you're the music guy here. If I'm not mistaken, it was a movie a while back, if I'm not mistaken, So again, I'm not the music aficionado like my partner here.
So good yardage as Moats initially had the ball. It looked like he was stopped right at the 1st down marker and then got some more to get the 1st down. Come on. You did the homework on this. I know you did.
Man, I'll tell you what, you bring up these Hooray for Hollywood. I'll tell you what, just from looking at it, a song first featured in 1937 movie Hollywood Hotel. So there's something for you right there. I'll go rent that tonight, I'll tell you that.
25 seconds left to go. This may be the final play of the game. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And the ball goes to Moats, and he is stacked up right across the line. He might have gotten a yard, and that might be it. And I believe we're going to call it a ball game as we roll the clock under 5 seconds, and both teams headed to the sideline, and that's the way she ends. A dominating effort tonight by the home team as expected. 45-7 tonight. Lakota West improves to 1-1 on the season. West Clermont falls to 0-2. Partner, I don't know if there is one particular play that stood out to you in a litany of plays, especially in the first half. I will say this, that if we're picking a player of the ball game, my vote has to go to a young man who hit the century mark tonight in Gumbo and Cam Goode.
I was just going to literally kind of echo the same thing. When he touched the ball, it was so electric. I'm going back to that play in the 2nd quarter, if I'm not mistaken, where he basically reversed field and came back for one of his longest touchdowns of the night. But honestly, any of the plays, but I agree with you. Cameron Goode, Gumbo. Just a fantastic player all the way around. I will say this, Shabola, I finished him with 7 pancakes on the night, Jeff. So, no, that's not an official set. He probably didn't. I don't think he played really the entire second half of the game. But 7 pancakes for the big guy going to Ohio State.
Fabulous night for the offense. They came off the deck after really getting shut down by St. X a week ago in the second half. And I will say this, on the other side for West Clermont, who didn't look particularly good in the first half, they did show some gusto in the second half, getting a 4th quarter touchdown tonight by Zach Moats.
Great job by Coach Ayers, and especially in the second half, they set some goals. They had a great offensive drive, 2 really good offensive drives that, one ended up with points. And, they're going to go back and look at this film. They're going to say, all right, look, we have a lot to fix, but at the same time, what are the positives we can take out of this going into the ECC and starting league play? And, 2 long games for the Wolves as they travel back to Amelia tonight. But, I was actually impressed with the way they came out and kept fighting throughout that second half and got points on the board.
Let's go to a play of the game. Tonight I'm going to put you on the spot.
The play of the game, I got to go back, honestly, and I kind of mentioned it early on, but I'm going to go back to that second quarter run by Cameron Goode. I mean, just an absolute dominant run, basically stretching the ball to one field and then going back to the other, planting, getting upfield. What I love about him is his vision that he has, getting through the line and hitting those seams, planting his foot and getting downfield. He's got a bright, bright future ahead of him.
Brief rundown on scoring here in this one. It started out with 10:27 left to go in the first. Capping off a 4-play drive, Mitch Bold and a 28-yard run. Point after is good, 7-0. Just about a minute and a half into the ball game. And after a punt by West Clermont on the following drive, it was Lakota West, a 24-yard touchdown run by Goode. That ended up being the game winner here tonight. Point after was good. That capped off a 6-play drive that went 51 yards. Point after good, 14-0. Goode again scored from 7 yards out with 3:37 left to go in the first. Point after good, 21-0. That was just a one-play drive after the good field position and the penalty on a punt return. And then as we look ahead towards the fourth quarter, it was another good run, 20 yards this time, as he took a couple players into the end zone with him towards the south end. Two plays on that one, 42 yards, went 29 seconds. Point after good, 28-0. Ben Minnick had a pick six return with 6:03 left to go in the first half. Point after good, and that was a 35-0 lead at halftime. And in the second half, it became another lead, attack on lead, a 7-yard touchdown pass from Bolton to Brown, point after good, with 7:47 left to go in the third. That capped off a 3-play drive that went 47 yards, 42-0, and to cap things off, Zach Moats, a 10-yard run. That capped off a 14-play drive that took 10 minutes off the clock, 79 yards, point after good. And we have our final. Well, actually, we don't have our final, as on the subsequent drive, at 5:20 left to go, it was a field goal of 27 yards, and that has capped off our scoring, 45-7 the final here in this one. Final thoughts on this one?
I think what we saw right now is Lakota West is a dominant football team, and they are going to be a really tough opponent for anybody that comes across them throughout the GMC. I got an anticipation that, barring injury to some of their key players, that this is going to be one of the top 5 teams in the state running down, and possibly the top team in the city. I expect them to match back up with St. Xavier sometime in the playoffs as well. I'm really anxious to see what this team does, especially once they get into the GMC.
Partner is a fun one, maybe. Not necessary for the players on the field, probably, but for us here tonight to see such a good team in Lakota West. Can't wait to do it again in week 3.
Absolutely.
Thanks, partner. And again, the final here in this one, 45-7. Here, the final in this one. Thanks go out to our videographers tonight, Maddie Morris and Alex McClary. Our producers up in the booth here tonight, Kevin Miller and Zach Teeters. And we will see you again for week 3. Again, the final here in this one, 45-7. Lakota West improves to 1-1. For Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Good night from Beckett Ridge.